All right, Shalom, Shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kodash. I want to say give a double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching and prophesying in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom to the elect and the rest of the elect, 100. Shalom to the elect, 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect of men, women, and children. Hey, I'm the brother Gabar Yahawada from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another lesson. Lord willing, it be edifying. This lesson was inspired by a video that I watched a little earlier today by Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Tahar. He posted a cheerful and a good heart will have care of his meat and diet. A must-watch video, right? And his page is GMS Declaring the End. Hey, subscribe and be edified. Now, with this video, with this video, the apostle was also going into this term that you see on the screen called surfeiting, and I'm gonna play it. And then this is what inspired me to do this lesson. He also pulled up this video within his video from the Millionaire Morning Show with Anton Daniels. It says married LPN woman making $100,000 plus a year is broke, can't stay out of Sephora, Ulta, credit cards, and that's what I want to focus on. I'm just gonna give you a small history of credit cards and women obtaining them, because most people will assume that we live in a world where credit was always easily available. You know what I'm saying? And even there's a clip that I have. Well, I don't have it, but I've seen it some time ago. Uh, even one of the a brother, he was a slave, right? And he said that he spoke about credit. Let me see if I can find it. God, I actually found the clip. So again, as I was saying, many people believe that or assume that credit was always available to everybody that's a citizen of America, right? If you got a bank account, if you got a job, if you don't, people believe that credit was widely acceptable. And what it did was it created a level of debt on people that you can't get out of, because credit used to be something that was used to be sparingly used sparingly. Meaning that you got your main income, and then you have credit cards, but credit card end up becoming debt. And this man right here, his name is Fountain Hughes, and this is a lot of wisdom. This is wisdom from a man that actually suffered hardcore slavery, right? And they had a thing called buying on time back then, right? So I want to let him explain it, because the modern day woman, she doesn't understand how to manage her money. Not in the sense that no person making 100,000 plus a year, and that's married and got a husband who also works, who probably brings in about the same much, should be at a point where they're uh they're they're negative at the end of the month or week or bi-week. And that's what you're gonna find out in this video, right? And this comes from a lack of discipline. Now, we all suffer from lacks of discipline in this society because we're in captivity, and we've been brought up underneath of this man, this devil, to believe that an undisciplined so-called lifestyle is the best way to live. You know, I was looking, and it's not the case. That's not true at all. You know what I mean? And well, that's why the apostle did his lesson. He was going into taking care of yourself and eating meats. All right. And then he went to the definition of surfeiting, right? So the point of the matter is that um, again, I want to focus on credit, because women didn't always have credit access to credit cards like that in this society. It wasn't until the 70s, the mid 70s, that they opened up, and that was right around the time of during feminism, the height of feminism, right? That was women were getting pushed into the workplace. So now they had an extra layer of individuals. When I say they, the super elite, the bankers, to tax the rest of the nation, and they used it through these women. And these women don't manage their money properly, and that wasn't how credit was supposed to be set up. So let Fountain Hughes speak first, and then we'll go to the lesson.
Well, that's always rich is cheap, now boy. You spend your money before you get it because you're going in debt for what you want. When you want something, wait until you get the money and pay for it cash. That's what I've done. If I wanted anything, I wait until I got the money and I paid for it cash. I never bought nothing on time in my life. Now, plenty of people, if they want a suit of clothes, they go to work and they buy them on time. Well, they said it was cheap. If you got the money, you can buy them cheaper. They want something for waiting on you for till you get ready to pay them. And if you got the money, you can go where you choose and buy it when you want it. See? Don't buy it because somebody else go down and run a debt and run a bill, or I'm going to run it too.
Yeah, you see that? He said, and this is a brother that was a slave. He said, don't run out and go into debt to go get it. Wait until you get it. He says, debt and run a bill, going to run it. 2, don't do that. I've never done it. I ain't got no money, but I'm happy just having somebody that I'm happy. But I'm happy that I'm sorry, but I'm happy just having somebody that, oh God, a million, nothing worries me. I'm not. My head ain't.
I never done it. Not people. They want something for waiting on you for.
Right. So he said basically, when you buy things on time, aka credit, the people that you owe, they're waiting for you to get paid again so they can get their money. And that's just, you don't need to live like that. And this is from a man who was a slave who had absolutely zero to his name, man. But he had wisdom.
Until you get ready to pay them. And if you got the money, you can go where you choose and buy it when you want it.
Right. If you got the money, you can go where you choose and buy it if you want it. You ain't got to put yourself in debt. And women, too often than men, they put themselves in debt for the most frivolous things, man. You know? And it's not a personal attack on females, but it's the truth, man. You going back to this right here, this woman, she's 100,000 plus in debt, right? And she got a house, she got a great job. There's no reason that this woman should be here. Well, the reason is because she's living above her means, right? She got a credit cards for Sephora, which is a makeup store. She got a credit card for Ulta, which is a makeup store. Then she got several other main credit cards. Like, that's all frivolous. You can cut all of that shit out. You don't need that. How much makeup do you need? And you're going to hear it. She spend hundreds of dollars at these stores, right? And then when it's time to pay bills, she's cash broke. And a lot of people in America are cash broke. They might look like they doing it. They got the house, they got the car, but really they're spending everything that they make for that month or bi-weekly or weekly. So you really don't have money, right? And like this elder brother right here was saying, Fountain Hughes, man. This man, and this is a brother speaking directly at the captivity. They were pushing credit. They always had, you had the sharecropping system. That was a credit-based system. And Esau would fuck you over for dangle you and shit. You know what I'm saying? And this man was speaking about it, and I remember them speaking about it because the guy that was interviewing basically cut him off and wanted to hear more about slavery. But he was warning you about credit cards. He was warning you about going into debt for some shit that you can just wait for. He said if you don't have the money, wait for it. And women don't wait. Women are notoriously known for being impatient and faithless. Okay? So without further ado, let me play this real quick. Matter of fact, let me get one precept. This is Job 39:17. Because the Most High have deprived her of wisdom, neither have he imparted unto her understanding. Right? And when you look up these words, for wisdom, right? The Hebrew word there is hakama, 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 right? Is wisdom in administration, shrewdness in religious affairs, ethical and religious affairs. And women don't have that. They don't have the shrewd mindset when it comes to their own lives. Neither do they have it when it comes to financials. And that's why, in this world they teach you that a woman don't need no man, but that's a lie. That's why I named this lesson after something that Apostle Hart said in his video, is women can't function without men. Real talk. And they can't. This woman has a man. And he's going to say, first of all, her husband should know what's coming in that house and what's going out. Too many men leave their first, and then second of all, she's out here going through her finances on TikTok or on the internet. She shouldn't be doing that. That should be something that's private between her husband and herself, right? But her husband, he just go out and bring the bacon in, the proverbial bacon in, right? And he give her full financial control over the money. I mean, she fucking it up. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't supposed to do that. You ain't supposed to put yourself in a position like that. Again, there's another precept. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Now, when it says strength there, in the in the Hebrew, that word for strength is hayal, right? Hayal, okay? And the word strength there is hayal, and it says substance, your strength, your riches, your wealth, your power, all right? Your ability, your efficiency, your wealth, right? You ain't supposed to get that to no woman, right? Because they're going to destroy it, right? They're emotionally erratic. You know, you have women out there that know how to, manage money to a point, but the vast majority of you women, you mismanage it. And you absolutely need a man to function. But you don't just need any man to function. You need a man of the Lord to function, a man of wisdom to function, a man of understanding to function. And that's what this is going to show you right here.
Let's go back through it. I wanted y'all to hear this in its entirety. I live in North Carolina, and I'm going to show you how I had $5,000 Friday, and on Sunday I have $30.86.
And that's disgusting. How the hell you got $5,000 and then you broke again? By Sunday you got $30 and you're LPN. You know, that's mismanagement. That's total mismanagement, right? I think they say if you got a house, 30% of your income need to go to your living, right? If you own a house or rent or whatever, 30% of your monthly income should go towards your living standards. But that ain't the case, man. Let's keep on playing it.
For savings. So me and my husband both get paid Friday, and on Sunday I have $30.86. Friday, and on Sunday I have $30.86. Listen, let's rewind it. I'm gonna play it from the beginning. Let's go back through it. I wanted y'all to hear this in its entirety. I live in North Carolina, and I'm going to show you how I had $5,000 Friday, and on Sunday I have $30.86 with no money left over for savings. So me and my husband both get paid bi-weekly and the same day. This week he gave me $1,600 for bills. This week he gave her $1,600 towards the bills. Okay? Let's break it down frame by frame. And I was a whopping negative $18 in my account before my... In her personal account. Now remember that she's married and she has her own personal account, and her husband probably also is not even familiar with her bad spending decisions.
Yeah, and that comes from a man giving his woman his forces. You ain't supposed to give these women this kind of access to your finances, to your life period. You know, because they're going to fuck it up, man. These women are really, not all women, but a vast majority of women out here are financially retarded, financially undisciplined, you know, in every way. You know what I'm saying? You'll choose to get a bunch of makeup to put on your face. You got a husband. You don't even need to do all that shit. You'll go out and have a dinner. You know, you'll eat off somebody. So, see, women are known for dressing up nice, but then they be like well-dressed bums, man. Looking to eat off somebody for free. You know what I'm saying? And then these are the same women that walk around talk about how they want a high level man, how they want this and how they want that. And really what you women want is an opportunity to live in pleasure, you know, with no responsibilities. Because when you're in charge, this the kind of shit that happens. How the fuck you started with $5,000 and then you $30 in on Sunday?
A negative balance in her account.
And on top of that, and on top of that, the bitch was negative in her account. Like, it's 2024. Why are you still going overdrawing on your account? How you $18, $40 drawn? Like, yo, you really don't even need overdraft protection. You can take that shit off. But see, that's wisdom. Because really, that overdraft shit, that's just a fee that these banks use to get to enrich themselves off of the stupid.
Bill. Cuddles, you're wrong. $10,000 a month is.
Yeah, like so somebody on this comment board said, and then probably some ignorant nigga woman talking about some $10,000 a month ain't shit. Like she bugging. Like what the fuck? $10,000 is more than enough. Yeah, to survive and live, man. Hell yeah, $10,000. That's more than enough. That's enough to house a whole family, man, and still have some bread left over if you budget and manage it right.
Right. So he gave her $1,600. They both get paid bi-weekly. All right.
Deposit. So this particular paycheck, I grossed $4,360.83.
So if she get paid bi-weekly, and her paycheck, let's just say 26 weeks. Let's do a little bit of math. I know y'all don't want to do no math. I know y'all don't want to have no conversation. But let's do a little bit of math. 43, 60, 83 times 26. So she makes $113,000 a year. According to her paycheck, her gross, by herself with no husband, she makes $113,000 a year. So it's not like she out here living in duress. She has income. That is in addition to whatever her husband makes. So I'm assuming that they well over $200,000 a year, and she got a negative balance in her bank account.
Yeah, so I actually did the math myself. In reality, she makes $104,659.92. That's before taxes, and this bitch is negative in her account. That's unbelievable.
Let's get it all out there, all right? Let's continue. Said that's gross. Well, of course it's just gross.
My net was $3,597.
So that's her net. She got $3,600 in net, which her husband then gave her an additional $1,600, which is why she didn't have a $5,000 budget. So she got $3,600 after taxes, which should cover all of her bills. $3,600.
Yeah, she had $5,191.62. And by Sunday, this is Friday, so by Sunday she was already in arrears, man.
After taxes. Her husband gave her $1,600, so she got a $5,000 bi-weekly budget, which is $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
$1.62. Our first two bills are the biggest. The house payment is $2,268.40, and my car is $564.76.
And that has nothing to do with insurance, maintenance, gas, nothing.
You see, right? I want to show you something. You see how this man is thinking? This is how every man should think. But you see how she thinking? She just thinking about the car note. She ain't thinking about the insurance. She ain't thinking about the maintenance. She ain't thinking about the gas. She ain't thinking about none of that. All she thinking about is, well, I paid my car note on time. That's it. You know, she got almost a $600 car note. But what about the everything else that go with it? And that's why this is the importance of a man. This is why Apostle Tahar had mentioned in this video, well, women can't function without a man. Real talk. And they can't. Because he gonna say, even if she was by herself making all this money, she'd be assed out. The kids ain't got shit to eat. She's just spending money frivolously, man. Not being frugal, she's frivolously spending money. And then you ask her how much money she got saved up, she don't know. I had to do this. That's the first thing come out their mouth. Oh, but I had to go do this. I don't know why I ain't got it.
Utilities, property taxes, PMI, none of that. We don't even know if she's paying her house, if her house note is really $4,000 plus, but she's just paying it bi-weekly in order to make sure that she get it out of her paycheck. Let's continue. You said she's putting a lot away in 401k. How do we know that? How do we know that? That's not what she said. That is not what she said.
The first Capital One I paid $400 on. The second
credit card, credit
Yeah.
card,
Yeah.
credit card, credit card.
Yeah.
Capital One, I paid $150. My American Express card, I paid $50. My MasterCard, I paid $100.
And let me tell you what the worst part about these credit cards are is that she's only paying the minimum. If that's what she's paying, then she's paying the minimum.
And then paying a minimum don't do shit for you, because you still got to pay the principal down. So she has all, and a credit card is nothing but a loan. That's all it is. It's a loan in your pocket. That's all it is. It's just a fucking loan with a high ass interest rate. Credit cards, credit cards, credit cards. Let's go.
If that's what she's paying the minimum. $50 here or $100 here. She's not even eating into the principal. Anytime, but credit cards is good. Okay, let's continue.
My Indigo MasterCard, I paid $100 as well.
Another credit card.
I paid my Ulta credit card off,
Credit card,
$74.57. I paid
Have to
Sephora
pay.
credit.
Have to pay. Klarna, credit card. I seen at least 7, 8 credit cards.
Yeah, and that's undisciplined. That is completely fucking undisciplined, bro. She got like 7 credit cards. Afterpay, 283. The husband, and they be like, they say that the reason why relationships fall apart, particularly when you get married, is because of finances. Well, who's the fucking head? Who's the head of this household? Because it clearly ain't the man. Because he don't even know that she got all of this shit going on. He probably had to look on the internet and figure out that, damn, bitch, why you got all this debt? What's up with all this personal debt? $50 for Sephora, $74 for Ulta, $283 for Afterpay, which that ain't nothing but credit too, right? And this is why women didn't always have access to credit. I'm gonna show you a quick commercial, and the dude say something that was so poignant in this commercial. Because having a credit card is not just having extra income to float you over. It's about money management, and the vast majority of Americans do not manage their money properly, bro. Particularly women. They're some of the most mismanaging people on the planet when it comes to finances, man.
Now here is a man who has a Barclaycard. He is a man who knows how to manage himself and his money.
Right. It says, here's a man that has a Barclays card who knows how to manage himself and his money. And that's showing you that this video is showing you that women don't have that ability. They don't have the ability to manage themselves and their money. That's why early on credit cards were only advertised for men first, because typically the man was the breadwinner and the woman stayed at home. Okay, and this is in the early 70s. Well, this is the 60s. Women were still at the household. They weren't in the workplace that much until the 70s came around.
You've seen one Barclaycard holder. Now, which of these young men would you think has the power to manage his money with confidence?
Manage his money with confidence, man. And hey, I dare to say, money management is a man's thing. That's why even in the banking world right now, is the majority of men. I mean, the majority of workers or employees in it are men. You got women up there, but the majority are men. Because that's a man's job, is to balance his finances, man. And this woman ain't supposed to be all in his pocket. This is in the 60s. You see, they didn't even talk about the women. It was like they were just there. But there was a time. So I typed this up. When were women allowed to have credit cards in America? In 1974. Although the Equal Pay Act was passed in 1963, requiring men and women to be paid equally when doing the same work, it wasn't until the Equal Credit Opportunity, or the ECOA, was passed in 1974 that women were able to get their own credit cards in their own name. Because before, you used to have to get it in your husband's name, right? So that shut it off. And then typically the husband would be a real like strict when it came to the money. So he wasn't giving his woman access to the money like that. He gave her enough money to pay the bills, right? Women and credit cards in the 70s. The 1970s were a turning point for women's rights, and included multiple legislative actions that helped to protect and advance women's equality. The passage of the Title IX section of the Education Amendment. Then you had the Supreme Court case, Baird, the Equal Credit Opportunity Act in 1974, and women were allowed to apply for credit cards in their own name, regardless of their marital status, because you used to have to be married to do that, right? The expansion of the EOC, the EOCA was amended in 1978 to include the prohibition of discrimination on the basis of race and color and religion, because they wasn't giving Jake no credit cards like that. And in origin, age, or receipt, the public assistance program like Social Security Disability Insurance or the Supplemental SNAP Assistance Program, SNAP, or good faith exercise of any rights under the Consumer Credit Protection Act. The act also requires creditors to furnish applicants who were denied credit with the reason for the decision. Women in credit cards in the 80s. In the 1980s, marked by a push-pull in the women's movement. Although women were increasingly holding notable positions in both workforce and governmental roles, the election conservatives, Republican President Ronald Reagan, may have stalled progress in many areas. Notably, he was opposed to Equal Rights Amendment, a constitutional amendment granting equal rights to women. In fact, Republican Party removed the ERA, from the platform, and in 1980, the same year, Reagan was elected president. So, and then it goes on and on and on. But we understand that women came out of that. But what came out of that? What came out of opening credit cards to women? Right here. What came out of that? All right. Why women notoriously have more credit card debt than men. Right. It's no surprise that Americans love their credit cards. Right. It says so much so that the outstanding credit card debt is now at the second highest since the end of the 2008 financial crisis, as tracked by WalletHub. Last quarter alone, Americans racked up $30 billion in debt. Salakia, my computer's acting funky. What's more, women may be at the losing end of the trend. According to a new study, more than 1 in 4 female cardholders, 26%, say they are not at all confident in being able to pay their bills in full this month, nearly double the percentage of men, 14%. Since the median annual income for women is 80%, the median annual income for women unfortunately have to work that much harder to get out of debt. Ted Robinson says so, because they make 80% instead of 100%, they got to work harder to get out of debt. Additionally, nearly 1 in 3 women with credit cards, 31%, say they have paid their credit cards monthly statements balance in full once or less in the past 6 months, while only 20% of men with cards made the same claim. So it's showing you that men are way better with credit than women. So if all else, and now I already looked it up, because I know somebody's going to look it up. They're going to look who has the most credit card debt in America, and it says men, right? I think it's like 2% higher than women. Additionally, nearly 1 in 3 women with credit cards, 31%, say they have paid their credit cards monthly statement balance in full once or less in the past 6 months. Salakia. Excuse me. So it says Salakia, brother. My computer is acting real funny. It says, so if all else is equal, $5,700 of credit card debt, the national average, according to the Federal Reserve, is going to eat up much more of the median woman's salary, $41,000 than the median salary of a man's salary, $51,000, right? So this is undisciplined, man, right? And they show you that. Now I want to play this video real quick too. Matter of fact, let me get a preset. Because a lot of you women, you want money to live in pleasure. You don't want to just pay your bills and do what you're supposed to do. And that's a part of God in the house. You should know how to manage the house. Managing the household money when you get it for the house necessities from your husband, that's a part of managing your house. But a lot of women don't know that because they haven't been taught that, right? This is the book of Titus, chapter 3. Hopefully it pops up. Titus chapter 2, verse 3. It says, the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not giving them much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, and women lack discretion. And we're talking about financial discretion right now, because even that woman exposing her financials to the world to see, that's going off, man. To be discreet, chaste keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. So a woman, an aged woman, is supposed to teach the younger woman to do these things, man. All right. When you read it in the NLT, it says the to live wisely and pure, to work in their homes, to do good, and to be submissive to their husbands. Then they will not bring shame on the word of the Most High. So a believing woman, a sister, she's supposed to do this. But obviously they don't do that. But this is supposed to be the role of all Israelite women and all women, period. They're supposed to be in submission to their husband. But what Esau do, being the snake that he is, he brought in the that financial philosophy that money's gonna break her free. She don't need no man. But it's evident that it's more than evident than any time that you women need a man of wisdom. Not just any man, but you definitely need a man of wisdom. Because there's no way that you bring in almost over $100,000 in a year, right, before taxes, and you're in fucking debt. Either the house gotta go, something gotta go. And it's really all these credit cards, man. And this is something that Sharon Osbourne said on TikTok, right? I want to share this. Hopefully it plays. Just bear with me. I want to share this, right? And then look at Ozzy Osbourne, her husband's face, when she talks about this.
Women weren't allowed to have credit cards until I think 75 or 76.
Women were not allowed to have credit cards.
In this country until 75 or 76, you couldn't have a credit card.
That was a good law.
Wait, why? Because women weren't responsible?
Yeah.
That's the truest statement ever.
Holy shit.
That's still not responsible. I should have kept that fucking thing.
Right, because what she do with the credit card? She's spending it on frivolous shit, not things that you need. She's spending it on things that she wants. And this is a great example of this statement, is this woman right here. She got more credit card debt for bullshit than she do for the things that they actually need, right? You know, she barely making it because she living check to check. So in reality, they're poor. And I dare to say they're even house poor, because you're supposed to save up to 3% of the house worth or appraised value, something like that, a year for maintenance costs and stuff. So not only is she financially set, she got to go to work 1,000 hours to make ends meet, and then she making ends meet because of her financial decision, her irresponsibility. And even Ozzy Osbourne said that about his wife. He said I should have kept that fucking thing, but he gave her the credit card and let her shop till she dropped because that's what that appeased her for the moment. And he said that was a good law, that you didn't allow women to have access to credit cards. I'll play it again.
Women weren't allowed to have credit cards until I think 75 or 76.
Women were not allowed to have credit cards.
In this country until 75 or 76, you couldn't have a credit card.
That was a good law.
Wait, why? Because women weren't responsible?
Yeah.
So that came from a woman's mouth. Even a woman says that women are responsible. And that's the truest statement ever. It's the truest statement ever, and you can see it. This is why women need men to function, right? And I say again, you need a man of wisdom, a man of the Lord to function, because these women, they ain't functioning on their own. They're out of order, right? This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, and I'll go straight to the point. It says, verse 3, but I would have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of a Mashiach is the Most High. So that's the order. It's the Heavenly Father Yahweh, it's Yahweh Shai, the only begotten Son, it's the man, and then it's the woman. All right? Every man praying and prophesying, having his head covered, dishonor of his head. So that's why we don't pray with our heads covered, because we're not dishonoring our head. Excuse me, which is Yahweh Shai. Okay? Every man praying and prophesying having his head covered dishonor his head, but every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonor her head. So any woman that's called herself praying and prophesying and she do it with her head uncovered, she's dishonoring her husband. And in this world, in this day and age, women don't mind dishonoring their husband, especially the black woman, right? The Latino woman, the Israelite woman, they don't mind dishonoring their heads, man. They go above their head, right? It says, but every woman, and most women do that too because of the feminism. But every woman that prayeth and prophesied with her head uncovered dishonor her head, for that is even all one as if she were shaven. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image of the glory of the Most High, but the woman is the glory of the man. See, the woman is the glory of the man, not the other way around, right? We're the Heavenly Father's glory. We're Yahweh Shai's glory, right? And the woman is our glory. That's why the Lord took her away. Just like he took her glory as her hair, right? Let me skip down. I'll keep on reading. Neither, it says, for this cause ought the woman to have power on her own head because of the angels. So she ain't supposed to have power over her head because the angels are watching her. You know what I'm saying? And this in this world, they give access to these financials to women. And what do? They end up destroying it and destroying themselves, right? And then wondering why they don't have no help or how they can't figure out to get out of this debt. And that's why the vast majority of people that are going to take that chip are going to be women because they're running from all of this debt. You know, you live in all of this debt so that you can live in pleasure. And as 1 Timothy 5 and 6 says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth, man. Let's look up that word for pleasure, right? If you live, she that liveth in pleasure while she living is dead while she liveth, man. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth, man. That word for pleasure in Greek is spataleo, spataleo, right? Spataleo. And I truly hope that you're being edified by this. It says to live luxuriously, to lead a voluptuous life, gives oneself the pleasure. And the vast majority of you women want to live like that. You want to live like that. If you were given the opportunity not to pay any major bills at home, you would take it in a heartbeat. But a man would be like, look, I'll do what I got to do. You know, I'll pay the mortgage, the car notes, the insurance, the health insurance, dental insurance, all of that shit. But a woman, she ain't trying to do that. And when she left to herself to do it, she lose her mind. And this is why the vast majority of you women in America, you're gonna die too, because you're living luxuriously and leading a voluptuous life. You giving oneself the pleasure, being wanton, to live in pleasure, right? And that's off. And you really dead. You're not alive. You know. I guarantee you, if you did a financial assessment of the woman that you with right now, an honest financial assessment with the woman you with right now, she ain't gonna give you the truth. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And then you're gonna find all kinds of holes in her financial story, right? Because she don't understand. And that's why a man of the Lord is extremely important, man. It's Ecclesiasticus 26 and 1. Blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be doubled. Now, what is a virtuous wife? Because a lot of these so-called Christian women, they want to run to the scriptures and speak about a virtuous woman like they're virtuous, and they're not. This is the description of a worthy woman. Proverbs 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. Like he ain't gonna have no need for to be robbed if you can safely trust in a virtuous woman. Why are you gonna trust in her? Because she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. And the vast majority of you women, you're ready to do evil, especially if you get married, bro. You can just forget about it. She gonna do you in, right? Especially if you got some substance. She gonna do you in because Esau give her all of these loopholes to take what you got, and she brought nothing. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. And how many of you women out here willingly work with their hands, man? right? Let me look that up in the NLT. In NLT, it says, she finds wool and flax and busily spins it, right? So that's hard work, man. It says works with eager hands. I gotta get this done. Let me get this done. And this is not for herself. All this is falling for her husband and to her children and her servants, man. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household. So she get up early in the morning and start cooking, and a portion to her maidens. Right? Let me see what that say in the NLT. She gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household and plan the day's work with her servant girls, man. How many of these women do that? None. Soon as she go out of bed, she probably don't even brush her teeth or comb her hair. She throw on her scrubs and get ready to go to work, and she running late. She ain't getting up early in the morning cooking, but you can see that in the Latin women, especially the women that got from Mexico, the Iscarite women. You know, they get up early in the morning before their husband go to work, and they prepare his breakfast and his lunch and pack that shit, his lunch and pack it, so he's good to go. Those are virtuous attributes, but these women, they believe that that's slavery, right? You get up before dawn, and then you plan out your day, right? It says, she considereth a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands, she planteth a vineyard. So she goes out, she surveys lands, buys. If it's fruitful for her, she'll buy it and then she'll plant a vineyard, right? And that's a substance for her and her husband and her children. She girdeth her loins with strength and strengthened her arms. Let me see what that says in the NLT, right? She is energetic and strong, a hard worker. And these women are none of these things. The only time they get energetic if it's something that benefits them, right? She's always going through it in her mind. Oh, I'm depressed. Oh, I'm bipolar. Oh, I'm all of these things. And come on, bro. How many of you men got women that she get up, she's energetic? Most of these women laying around, loafing around in the house all damn day doing nothing. And is a hard worker. Not too many. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. Let's look what that says in the NLT. She makes sure her dealings are profitable. Her lamp burns late into the night. How many of you women make sure your dealings is properly? None. So none of these so-called Christian women call themselves virtuous women. You're not virtuous, man. You're not virtuous because you look like something, you got a vagina and some breasts. That don't make you virtuous, man. Virtuosity, if that's a word, is a trait, a personality trait. It's also it's a blessing, you know. It's not just the way you look, how you carry yourself. It's a mindset. What do you do? She stretcheth. It says she layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yeah, she reacheth forth and her hands forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household is clothed with scarlet. You know, so it says in the NLT, she has no fear of winter for her household, for everyone is warm and clothes, man. Right? And most of you women don't know where your next meal is coming from. You don't know where your next bills are being paid. You're in a constant race, man. So these women today, they're not wealthy. I mean, they're not wealthy. They're not virtuous, and they're without. You know, her husband need to take financial control of their household, man. And a lot of you gonna find out that a lot of these women hide money. They got a safe, saving stacked away because they know they about to abandon ship. A lot of these women do that, bro. You know, then that's what you'll find out eventually. You know, okay. So I think that's about it. Um, Proverbs 11 and 22. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion. Right? And that word for discretion in the Hebrew is ta'am, Ta'aim, ta'aim, right? Ta'aim is judgment, taste, decision, advice, understanding, judgment, discretion, reason, taste, good taste, and behavior. It's an implication of intelligence, transitivity, and mandate, advice, behavior, decree, discretion, and judgment, reason, taste, and understanding. And that's exactly what that is to a woman that without discretion is like having a pig with a golden earring in his nose, man. The gold is worth something, but it's worthless on that pig. And it's likewise the woman who's, again, it says a jewel of gold in a swine snout, as a jewel of gold in a swine snout, so is a fair woman without discretion. Let me see that in NLT. A beautiful woman who lacks discretion is like a gold ring in a pig's snout, man. Worthless, man. So I just wanted to bring this out. Again, this lesson is entitled. Oh, no. Salak, let me get Pastor Harris. I ain't get to play what he said. He said something great here.
Okay, so I'm not going to put Bible. I'm just going to put common dictionary. Servitude causes someone to desire no more of something as a result of having consumed or done it to excess. I'm serving with shopping, meaning you buying stuff, and that's what your women do. You gotta stay away from these women. You gotta be the boss. There's a video of Anton Daniels that put up a video of this chick that's an LPN. I did a video on it, and she got a husband. She makes $11,000 a month, and even her husband contributes to the bills. And when she pays off, she got a list of all those bills. She got all those credit card bills. She got this, she got that, a car, a house, or this. And at the end, when everything was said and done, she's left with $30. I think $30.86. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, and it's true, man. You got to be the boss, brother. You got to take that away from a woman. That is not for a woman to manage the money, to manage the household income. And if you got money, you need to know exactly. If you live in a house with your woman, you should know every financial thing that's coming through that door and that's leaving out that door. That's a fact. You got to be the boss, man. Everybody want to be the boss, but don't nobody want to be the boss when it comes to responsibility, man. Right? There's so much that goes into. You got to understand, your household is a business, man. And her business, this woman's business, they're in the red, bro. They're not even in the black. They're in the red. Right? That's disgusting. That's disgusting. You ain't supposed to be in the red with all that kind of money coming in the door. And if you're living above your means, you need to live below your means. And that's why I'll end it off with this right here. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Salaki. I messed up. Salaki. My computer is acting up again. Just bear with me, brothers. Bear with me. Oh. Proverbs 30:8. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, man. And that's right. You want to have the things that are necessary for you. We don't want to be poor. We don't want to be rich. Not in this world. Because either one will destroy you. Right? It says in the NLT. First, help me never to tell a lie. Second, give me neither poverty nor riches. Give me just enough to satisfy my needs, man. And the average woman don't live according to her needs. She lived more to her wants. So she wants more and more and more. And you don't understand, the more you have, the more that's going to go out, and the higher those bills are going to be. You know, the higher those bills are going to be. So you want to live within your means, man. Right? You don't want to live above your means. You want to live below or at or below. But they say the key thing, if you're talking about building your wealth, is living below your means. Lest I be full and deny thee, say, who is the Lord? And that's what people end up doing when they get all that money. You don't need the Lord no more. You don't ask for help from the Lord. You don't pray. You don't fast. You don't do anything. Matter of fact, you become prideful against the Lord, but not realizing it's Yahweh Bashim Shai that give us and take away. He make it rich and make it poor. Or lest I be poor and still and take the name of my power in vain, because then you'll be like, I'm supposed to be a man of the Lord. Why am I eating out of the trash? And you'll end up taking the Lord's name in vain because you're in poverty. So we got just enough. We in the middle, right? That's what the middle class is about. You're not poor, you're not rich, but you have enough to sustain between both realms, and that's balance. That's chiefly balance. So I hope you are edified with that one. Say shalom and on to the next.